We're here with Dan Maguire, reality TV star. Dan, thanks so much for being here.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Daniel, tell us, how did you get into reality TV?
Good question. I was actually modeling in LA, and about 5 months later, I got a message sent to me on Facebook. Hey, it was either the casting director or one of the producers saying, hey, you want to do the show, The Bachelorette? And I said, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
So 5 months later, or 4 months later, that's when we started filming. And since then, it's just one after another. So The Bachelorette led into Bachelor In Paradise because they're both owned by Warner Brothers or ABC. Last year I did Celebrity Family Feud, which is Warner Brothers. Paradise again, which is Warner Brothers. Millionaire Matchmaker. That's because, and the reason I got on that show is because they saw me on Paradise and they just wanted to use me. And then I did Bachelor In Paradise Australia down there, and they just sent me an email saying, hey, you want to do the show? So one just led after another, and it's because I bring this entertainment factor, I guess you could say. And yeah, I've never been pitched to any of these shows. I've never applied to any of these shows. They just keep on asking me. So yeah, it's been a good time. I'm just waiting. Actually, right now, I'll find out probably by the end of this week if I'm doing another show in September. I can't say what it is, but I hope to get it because it's a lot of fun and make some money, go travel, meet some new people, having a new experience, and get some laughs, basically.
What was it like being on The Bachelor? That's something that I can only imagine.
Yeah, it's before going on my first reality TV show, I was kind of like, I didn't know what to expect. It could be super long days, you could be super bored. It just be frustrating at times, but other times you have a lot of fun. You just shooting the shit with your friends or other castmates, and you can see some new places and try have some new experiences. So it can be fun at times as well. But it's also cool sometimes seeing the finished product afterwards when you film all this and then months later you see it on TV and you'll be like, wow, I remember that, or oh, I didn't know this happened. And then other times you're like, oh frick, why did they have to air that? Or it depends on your edit. If you get a good edit, you're like, you love it. If you get a bad edit, it makes you even more mad. But you have no control over that. I've had good edits, bad edits, and weird edits. I've had all different types of edits. So my experience for the most part has been pretty good. And it just depends on how you look at it. Someone in the same shoes as me, when it might have been like, no, that was horrible experience. But just like anything in life, you can look at it positive or negatively, right?
Right. So when it comes to The Bachelorette, do you think that love is possible?
On The Bachelorette, where you have one girl and 30 guys, the possibilities for the guys aren't good. It's a 1 in 30 chance. But then even then, once you make it to the end, you still have to make sure that relationship goes on or continue. And so, do I think it's possible? It is, but not the chances aren't great because just look at how many couples are still together from how many seasons, right?
Right.
You got to think of why these people go on the show in the first place. How much time do you actually get to spend with the person? Like, for example, when I was on The Bachelorette in 3 weeks, I spent about 45 minutes with JoJo. And so it's just, not realistic circumstances. Paradise is more realistic. But even then, like when I went on the first show and I was one of the 30 guys and one girl, like what happens if I didn't like this girl or, who is she? It's not like I'm picking the dream girl to be there and I'm trying to win my dream girl. It's just some random girl, So it'd be a lot better chances if I was a bachelor and I had 30 girls to choose from, but it wasn't just a random 30 girls. It was girls that I wanted to be there, or this is the type of girl I'm looking for. Because again, if it's just 30 random chicks, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to find the one, right? So you just have to be realistic with it and kind of have fun with it. You can't, take it that serious because, there's other aspects to it. You can make friends and you can have a laugh and have some new experiences. So it's just not, you don't go on there just for that. And nowadays most people don't go on it for just, to find a girlfriend, boyfriend. Most people go on it for fame or for followers. Unfortunately, that's what it is.
What did you think of The Bachelorette? Were you into her?
Was I into her? I think it was hard for me to get really into it, competing with all these other guys. And I'm like, first off, I usually don't compete for girls. It's not like normal everyday situation. If girls doesn't like me, then it's like, hey, bye, And so it's like I felt like almost like I was faking it, like trying to win, because you don't want to lose, you don't want to go home. You're competitive, right? But it's hard to fake it sometimes, and something like that, you don't want to like, you know, be someone you're not. So, but she was cool, but I mean, not the type of girl like I wanted to marry. But you know,
when you're on these reality shows, like what's it like for the relationship, like having a relationship? Have you had a relationship while you've been on these shows?
I've had some relationships on these TV shows, and they last longer than others. Some are more serious than others. And yeah, sometimes it can feel like maybe a little bit forced, like that you have to be in it because that's what you're there for, and that's what all you talk about. And so you feel like maybe if the cameras weren't there and you weren't around them 24 hours a day, then maybe you wouldn't like them as much. But it's a mix. It's hard. Sometimes you get so caught up in it, right? And you'll hear a lot of people say that they get so caught up in it. It's just hard to know what's real and what's fake, and you know how much of it is for TV. And yeah, I mean, but I've never been in love on any of these shows, and I've never been head over heels. There are some girls which I like, it's cool, but you know, you live on the other side of the continent, and do I like you enough to move down there? No. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell us, I mean, what would be your favorite, if you had to look back, what would be your favorite show that you were on?
My favorite show that I've been on was probably season 3 of Bachelor In Paradise. It was my first time. It was my second show, and my first time doing Bachelor In Paradise, and it was just a lot of fun. I was with a lot of cool people. I had a lot of good laughs. I was on it for a fair bit. My edit was pretty good. So all these circumstances made it good for me and made it a good experience. I did get salmonella, so that did suck.
Wow.
So about day 8, I started feeling like I was going to die, and I felt pretty sick. And so I just had to take antibiotics, and so it kind of put a bad vibe on how I felt, but I still tried to pull through, and I was there for about 12 days. So that was probably my favorite show that I've done.
Nice.
But I mean, when I did Millionaire Matchmaker, I was one of the bachelors, so I get to pick a woman. So it was kind of cool to have that sort of power. But
what was it like working with Patty? Like
working with Patty? Yeah, I mean, I didn't really watch the show before going down onto it, but I had an idea what the concept was gonna be like.
Yeah.
But then, you know, when we're filming it and stuff, you realize like how different networks work and different producers work, and you just feel like you know, they wanted certain things that I didn't want to do and whatever.
Right.
It was still cool because I was working with my friend Vinny. We were both the bachelors, and we get to pick the women, and we both, you know, she was the girl I chose. She was cool, and you know, we ended up leaving together. So it was a cool experience, but I knew how they're going to portray me or what they wanted to, and so I was not too happy with that. But especially for the amount of money they're going to pay me.
How are you portrayed out there, like in the reality world?
Yeah, so every show is different. I think sometimes they portray me as arrogant, egotistical, an asshole, cocky. Sometimes I'm portrayed as, you know, funny, weird, silly, witty. But again, me and you both might watch it, or say we watch somebody on TV, and you might think they're funny, I might think they're an asshole. So it comes down to perspective, right? So I've had a lot of people over the years come up to me and think, oh, like, you know, I'd say 80% of the people that come up to me like, oh, you're so funny. Other people like, oh no, you're a loser, douchebag. I'd say maybe not 80%, but like maybe 90% think it's good.
Yeah.
Online is when you get more of the negative things.
Right.
But in person, it's usually pretty good. So again, it comes down to interpretation, right?
Right. Are you ever like out and about doing things and people are like, oh my God, it's so and so?
Yeah, I'd say I've had that 20,000 times in my lifetime.
Wow.
So yeah, that's the thing. So before going on these shows, you know, you expect you're gonna get some recognition and whatnot. Like I expected that, and people go on these shows for that. I mean, everyone likes attention, and I'm not gonna lie and not say I don't like attention. I do like attention, but you don't realize how much it is until you go on these shows, and just how many people watch these shows. So I've done 6 shows, and you get recognized in any city. So not just Vancouver, like any city in North America. I've been recognized in any age, so not just like 20-year-old girls, but I'm talking like 40, 50-year-old men. I've been recognized from any ages, probably anyone from 10 years to 70, and guys and girls, husbands, wife, boyfriend, girlfriends, gay, straight, you name it, all types I've been recognized by. And any place too. It's not like you're just in a nightclub or whatever, airports, restaurants, anywhere you go. And, you know, it's usually coming up and ask me, you know, say, are you the guy from the show? Or Daniel, I know you, or I seen you on the show and can I take a picture with you? So you do get a lot. And sometimes it can be overwhelming because it's just so frequent. So, you know, you might go a day without getting recognized, or at least you might go a day without someone coming up to you. But other days, you know, if you're in a nightclub, it's too much where you can't even hang out with your friends, or you go to a sporting event where it's just like too much bombardment. It's just too much. Like, you know, picture here, picture there, and it's like a little bit too much. And
some of your single friends might like that, though, right?
Yeah, sometimes the single friends do like it, because then it's like they use me as bait almost.
You ever get any of them pretend to be your manager? Oh, I'm Daniel's manager. Nice to meet you.
Well, no, they don't do that, but they definitely like the attention.
Yeah.
So yeah, the friends like, let's go tonight. I'm like, no, because if I go out, it's like not just going out. It's like more of like you gotta be ready for physically and mentally to like be ready, be prepared to like take lots of pictures and smile and be on. Because, you know, if you're not Mr. Friendly all the time, they'll be like, oh, Dan just goes online. He's a douchebag. He's like this or like that, right?
Yeah.
So as for us reality TV people, you have to be. You can't. I mean, not saying you have to fake it, but you just have to be. You always have to be your best self, right?
Right.
Because if you're Brad Pitt or whatever, and you're making millions and millions and millions of dollars, it doesn't matter what people think of you. You're gonna get hired regardless, right?
Right. What's next? You got any movies? You got more reality TV? Give us the rundown.
No movies, at least not yet, because I've never taken an acting class in my life. Some people ask, so they assume that I'm either an actor or want to be one. And first off, I'm not an actor. And I don't necessarily really want to be one. I do like doing reality TV. You know, I would love to have my own show one day, or maybe co-host or something like that. You know, I have different pitches written up, but I'm pretty easygoing. I would do just about anything. But I am waiting to hear back about a reality TV show this week. So that's exciting for me because I like doing it. But besides reality TV, you know, those shows are not every day of the year, right? So you got everything's that fill in. So, you know, I like to stay active on social media, so I do some endorsements with that. I've done appearances over the years at nightclubs, women's expos, fitness expos. I do some personal training on the side. I've been certified as a trainer for 10 years. I've been doing a little bit less as years gone by because, you know, busier and doing these sort of things, and I come and go lots. But then I also work for a research marketing company that's based in Bermuda. And I do that part-time as well. It's my friend's company, and you want to do this? Can you do that? Can you work today? Can you do this? I say, sure. So I stay fairly busy, you know, but yeah, no TV shows yet, and no sitcoms. I don't know if I could learn lines and do that. I mean, I'm sure I could train my brain to do that, but I just don't have a passion for it, you know. I think people are like, you should try it, you would be good at it, but I don't have that passion. So, you know, I have a passion for reality TV and being myself, or something of myself, because I can play it up, and I feel like I'm good at that and improv, but I have no passion for the rest. So I think you should only do something that you have passion in, you know?
I agree. Tell us a little bit about your fitness routine. I mean, you're in great shape. I mean, give us the rundown on the supplements, the training, and, you know, what you do. Yeah.
So myself, the way I train right now is a lot of it's for looks. Obviously, I like to be aesthetics. So, you know, I'm always almost like preparing for like a fitness competition, like a physique competition, because I think the human body is amazing, and I like want to sculpt it. So I've been working out, you know, on and off, or pretty much on since, I mean, my whole life, I guess you'd say. I'm 33, so I started maybe more serious in 2004, and every year I get more serious. A little bit less drinking, but a little bit less drinking, a little more serious. But then I got in a motorbike accident. So that sent me back a little bit.
Wow.
So that was in 2013. So I think I've been steady now for the last 5 years though. So I'm in the gym, you know, 6 days a week. I love it though. As people say, oh, you know, 6 days a week. So for me, it's like I look forward to going to the gym. Some people like, let's go to work the first thing in the morning so you get it over with. I don't want to get over with. I want something to look forward to. I go sometimes twice a day. So I go for basically a lot of it looks, but also you know, for my heart health and cardiovascular. So I do that as well, but I'm not training right now for like a sport or to be the most explosive man out there or the most flexible. I'm going, again, mostly for looks. Call me vain or whatever you want, but you know, you want to look good in the mirror, right? I still do a lot of, you know, I do cardio. I do go for hikes. So my cardio is still pretty up there. And plus the way I train is high volume. So I'm doing right now a 3-day split. I'm hitting everything twice a week, and I'm doing about 13 exercises per hour and 15 minutes, and and then 4 sets in a drop set for every exercise. So it's super high volume with about 45-second rest.
Nice.
So it's almost like a circuit training, but it keeps my heart rate up there and it keeps me pumped up. And it's just what works for me. I'm not saying that works for everyone. And some people say maybe you're overtraining or you're doing too much. And I just find like that's what works for me. I like this because for me, doing just chest in an hour, I can be done chest in 25 minutes, really, with a 5 minutes per exercise. So, nice. And then supplements, I love supplements as well. I'm a huge believer in them. I take them for a variety of reasons, and some are more important than others. So, I have my basic stuff. So it's just like, my obviously the best is probably a creatine or protein, probiotics, digestive enzymes. I'm taking a little bit break from multivitamin right now, but fish oils, again, a new study came out, said it's not that important, so I might stop taking that. Vitamin D, vitamin C, greens, Q10, turmeric, ashwagandha. So I take a whole variety of things. I like to say all natural, like all from, natural clean ingredients. And I've never taken a steroid in my life, so I want to continue being clean, like a clean athlete, right?
Nice. Have you used any of our products? Or?
Yeah, I've used them all. Supernova is the best, though.
Yeah.
Supernova, I love Supernova. I haven't used it though for a couple months, because that's the last. I've tried different brands, but I don't like Stimix as much. I find Supernova just gets me like, boom, it's great. The proteins and stuff are good. The same with the BCAAs. I've tried the BCAAs before. They're tasty as well, but that Supernova is just like, it's probably my favorite pre-workout out there.
Great, that's good to hear. Yeah.
So I'm willing to take some more if he throws them my way.
Oh yeah, no, we'll hook you up before you leave. That's not a problem. Yeah.
The reason why I'm so passionate about supplements is just because I know how important they are, and especially for me, like I feel like in this day and age with the amount of pollution out there, smoke, with the amount of stressors, and the lack of vitamins and minerals in our food from them over spraying them from pesticides, herbicides, from they're coming in from South America, from Asia. By the time they're on our plate, they're not nutritious. Plus, the way I train very hard. I train once or twice a day. I push my body to the max, so I want to make sure I'm getting the right amount of nutrients or supplements. And so I find that's why I'm passionate about it, because for me, the most important thing in life is health. If you got health, you got nothing. You can't go to work. You can't go hiking. You can't have sex. You can't perform great in many different areas. So for me, I want to feel as best as I can, and I find I can do that with supplements. If I can spend $10 a day on supplements, which it's about that what I do. So $300 a month, whatever. But $10 a day, what's that? 2 Starbucks or less. So I'm willing to do it. And so for me, it's like I totally preach it, and I don't push them. I don't push down on anybody, but I say this is what I believe in, this is why it works. And especially for me as a natural athlete, people often accuse me, or they think, I'm taking. You don't take anything? No, because I train hard, I train smart, and I eat healthy, I get my sleep, and I take my supplements. And so you do all those things, it works, but I'm not going to take shortcuts. I don't want to look a certain way. And that's not for me. Not saying, I have a lot of friends that do take steroids, but that's not for me. And I find I'm able to get the way I want to look naturally and with the proper amount of supplements.
Great. You're lucky. You're one of the lucky few that have these genetics. Honestly, it's pretty rare.
But it's funny though. Obviously genetics are part of it. Like my family is kind of an ectomorph. We're all fairly slender. It's hard for me to put on muscle. Like right now in the mornings, I'm like 192.
Wow.
But again, I am in the gym 6 days a week for as many. Like I don't party much. I see these guys. Like I train with guys that take stuff, and I'll leave them in the dust. They're just. I've been training for a long time, and so I find, it's not just genetics. Because I just train myself hard, and I've learned what works well and what works doesn't. I find, for me, I push myself hard, but I also lift smart. I see these guys are swinging the weights, they're doing partial reps, like this. They're not squeezing. They're not doing it properly. So obviously you're not going to get proper results. So then, they want something to get them to where they want to get. So they got to take something, but if you do it right in the first place, you're not going to get any injuries, and you'll get there real way. Because other things, if you stop taking stuff, you often will come off it pretty quick. And these guys too, now I'm talking to them, a lot of these guys are taking gear, they got internal problems and all the time, like, I got this. And I'm like, what do you think that's from? And I know what it's probably from. Like, it's probably just genetics or from maybe stress. I'm like, okay. Or they've got mental issues as well.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them, they don't do it. I'm not saying that, you can't take gear in the right way. I'm not saying if I'm 40 or 45 and my test levels are low, I'm not saying I won't take it, but a lot of these guys just overdo it, and take too much stuff. Like, these guys are like, some of these guys are 25 years old, and the amount of stuff that I hear them taking, I'm like, dude, your kidneys, your liver, your adrenal glands, by the time you're 35, 40, you're going to be done. At the end of the day, I always say to each your own, whatever makes you happy,
I agree. Did you have any questions for us or myself while you're here? Like anything at all that comes to mind?
Well, how about this? What makes Nutribolic stand out from other supplements?
I would say, what makes Nutribolic stand out is that we put clinical dosages in our products. Everything we have is transparent. So like, you as a consumer, when you're buying our products, we're not hiding anything.
That's what I like about you guys, because I've seen in some of them, it's like a blend or a proprietary blend. I'm like, what the heck does that mean? And how much am I getting this? Because I want to know exactly if I make sure I get the right dose, because I need this dose to get that, to reach, that's what it's supposed to do. Number two is I want to make sure I'm not overdoing it as well.
And that's, for us, we're all about, getting results for our customers. We're all about hearing about the performance increase. I love hearing stories about, people that have really, like how passionate you get about Supernova, right? And for us, we believe in repeat business. We want people to get results. Like my goal is that, if I'm out there, I respect the competition. I try the competition, but when we put a product out on the market, I want to be able to sit across from you and say, this is better than anything on the market.
Well, I've taken a lot of different supplements out there and a lot of different pre-workouts. And for pre-workouts, Supernova is definitely the best.
Thank you.
There's a couple other ones that are close, but doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the most honest guys you'll ever meet.
And that is a tough category.
Let me tell you,
that is a very, very tough category to play around in.
Another thing I like about Nutribolics is that it's Canadian and it's local.
Yeah.
It's not made in some foreign country or some small hillbilly town in the States somewhere that you just, maybe not. It's in Vancouver, it's like, look at the headquarters here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I trust it,
Yeah.
I know that it's not going to have some sketchy chemicals or sketchy products in there that are going to do damage to me, So it's a product I can trust.
Exciting.
For me, fitness and health is the most important thing. So supplements goes hand in hand with it. So that's why I'm so passionate about it. That's why it's like when I find something I like, it's and I tell people, always ask me, what's your favorite pre-workout? Nutribolic Supernova.
Well, listen, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. Yeah, no, honestly, thank you.
Yeah.